is the April 15th meeting of the Harbor Management Commission's Mooring Committee. It is 10:05, and attending are Ed Billings, Harbor Master, and Jeff Stedman, Consultant, and Jack Hirschler, me, Commissioner. And Kim Taylor, are you on the line?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, good.
Good morning.
Kim is.
Morning, Kim.
And any other commissioners joining us today? All right. Let me begin. I have a report from Club Manager Jeff Engborg. Since he's unable to participate today, he's getting his second COVID vaccine, which is a good reason to miss our meeting today. But he did send me some updates, but I thought maybe we'd do the Harbor Master's report. I could do Jeff Engborg's report, and then we could proceed through the agenda from there. So let's start with your report, Ed.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good to be here. Rainy day. Well, you mentioned Jeff Engborg. Jeff and I have been working together along with Travis, sorting out some of the new people coming into the North Anchorage, as well as those who are, either A, not returning this year, which applies to the entire harbor, or those being assigned from the wait list to other moorings. So that's still in the works, so to speak. Unfortunately, this month and late last month, there were some online mooring glitches with some of the assignments, which delayed my activities quite a bit. So I'm still in the process of assigning a couple of moorings. Those are deep water moorings, waiting for information to be rendered in. And I must say, and thank you to Travis and to Jeff Engborg for their willingness to reach out to me. We have a great working relationship, and I assume that will continue for a number of years. I'm still waiting for a few people, excuse me, to get back to me, with their documentation so that they can receive stickers. And the stickers will be mailed out either today or tomorrow to avoid going down to Town Hall and waiting for that mailing process to go forward. I'm just going to go buy some stamps, put the stickers in the envelopes, and send them out as soon as possible. So, maybe some people might want to occupy moorings this weekend, but, as of today, it is allowed. So, with that, speaking of online mooring, it's still going on. I've got a great percentage rate going on, and so 66 people are on the wait list, and some have elected to be removed from that wait list this year. Other than that, that is my report.
So on online mooring, this is a question of how it works. When you put in their second strike for those people who are taking a pass, are they going automatically to the bottom of the list, or are you having to do any extra steps? That
remains to be seen. As soon as I get off, I'm going to make a call to the technical help and go through that process, and unfortunately bump a few people, because they have their second strike.
Right.
So I'm assuming that will happen. And people have acknowledged it. They've sent me back emails, so that will be attached to their file in the little comment box for the second strike.
Right.
So they're well aware. Nobody's going to be caught off guard or a big surprise.
Yeah, it just feels to me like this is just a piece of the keeping the wait list clean and operating it according to our rules. So I feel like that's just good. I'm glad that the system is helping us to do that and record the communications with the boat owners.
Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Is that the reason why online the system has been giving you such fits, Ed, or what is the cause of the glitches that consume so much of your time in the last few weeks?
Without wanting to I'm not going to point fingers at anybody, but we do,
Yep.
as we all know, this is a hybrid system
Right.
with many what details or peculiarities.
Right.
And there simply was a misunderstanding about the correct procedure, and that confused not only myself but some other people as well. So
Okay.
that has been corrected, and
Okay.
so I'm
Okay.
hoping for smooth seas, shall we say, from here on out.
Okay. Smooth seas
That's
are
all
good.
related to taking people off the wait list and assigning them moorings according to our rules, and the system
Okay.
logic for our harbor is different than others, right?
Right.
Yes, that's correct. And part of the problem, why it's gone so late this year. Here it is, the 15th of April. I just found out the other day that someone on the wait list is like, no, it's too late for me. I'm not going to be bringing a boat in, and I know that I'm going to be moved to the back of the list, and that's okay. And it's like okay, but that's really a disservice to everyone else who's behind you on the wait list, to wait so long.
Yeah.
To notify me. And granted, and I take that as my responsibility. Not hearing, and I've made a number of phone calls, a number of emails, and perhaps I'm trying to be cognizant of COVID, yet I don't want to make that an excuse for not only myself or anyone else, but maybe it's just time for me to, it's like, okay, the grace period is over, I'm pulling the plug, your application is rejected. Boom, cut and dry.
I don't know, Ed. I think I don't think you can go wrong by.
So.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can go wrong by being trying to be accommodating to folks. It's unfortunate that in this case, it is so late that you heard, and that it does impact what happens to other people. But we're not we're in many ways we provide a service. We work for the people who are on that list. So
Right.
I don't think you need to be too hard on yourself. You've reached out on and that's good.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I really do. One thing that I did do is look down the wait list for the next two people that would have the appropriate size boat for a given
Right.
spot. Notify them that if there is a pretty good chance, or there is a chance that you may be awarded a spot this year, and if so, would you be prepared to apply? It's not really a screening, just just a courteous outreach. You're getting very close, and both people actually responded in the affirmative, and so I said, not wanting to turn them off or put them off, excuse me. So, just stay tuned. As soon as I hear, I will let you know, and that's going to be part of today's process as well.
Okay. Well, I think that's a great idea, and good for you.
Ed, just on a related topic, you mentioned the stickers for permits people who have been issued. Just to clarify for anybody who may be listening to this recording of this call or listening to it live, your plan is not to send anyone a mooring permit sticker for this season to affix to their boat if they have not completed the application and provided the required images of insurance and registration for that vessel for this year.
That is correct. Right. Yeah, unless they have been approved.
If you are among those who have not yet submitted that, you're not going to be receiving your sticker until you've provided all the things that are required to get that sticker. So,
right.
Okay. Anything else, Ed?
I don't think so. I've been trying to work with the boat a little bit, but that's coming up a little bit later in the meeting.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Reserve comment on that.
Let me run through the things that Jeff Engborg has offered that if he were able to join us today, he would be reporting on. He reported that this was from the 9th, so a few days ago. As of the 9th, that all the town moorings will be ready by the 15th, and he really thought they'd be ready even earlier. The fuel dock will officially reopen on May 1st from 9 to 5, and the pump out will be available, and he notes, as it's specified to be in the deep permit. He reports that the whaler dock has been, this is the mooring float for the whalers, has been modified as directed by DEP and will be reinstalled as specified with 20 feet less dock. Mm-hmm. He reports that the 5-mile-per-hour buoys have been installed and they're on station. He also reports that the North Anchorage has recently had a scheduled survey, which is done every 10 years. The results of sediment accretion is to be determined and is pending a report that the club will receive from RACE. And he reports, as Ed reported, that Harbor Master Buildings has been in communication regarding North Anchorage moorings and mooring permit applications. And then finally, we're going to get to this in just a few minutes on this meeting, the club stands by and is ready to donate the whaler. This is the boat that would be used as a Harbor Master Patrol vessel donated by the club. The club needs a few weeks of advance notice of the desired date of acceptance. The boat is currently in service, supporting the high school sailing season, which ends in early May. And he notes that Pequot Yacht Club would plan to remove the PYC lettering and numbers from the boat and would generously perform servicing prior to acceptance by the town of Fairfield. So those are the updates from Jeff Engborg, manager, Pequot Yacht Club, and
Great.
Providing service to us for mooring maintenance to the town of Fairfield. Any comments on Mr. Engborg's report?
All sounds good to me.
Right, that sounds good.
Hi. Jack, this is Jeff.
Yes, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was muted because of the background noise, but the annual report, I said I would have it last weekend. I'm almost finished with it, so hopefully I'll be able to finish that tonight. I got some, I didn't get as many photographs to choose from Hugh Smith this year, but he sent one that's very excellent, and I put that on the first page and also made a note that this is beautiful view of Southport Harbor is provided courtesy of Hugh Smith, the longtime harbor management commissioner, and just made a note thanking him for his contributions over the years. But, I won't finalize it until you take a look at everything. And I put in a little bit of the, not a little bit, but explain the boating season, the late start, and how it picked up, and how we all recognize the benefits of outdoor recreation in a safe way, or we all recognize that during the pandemic. So just bear with me. I should have this completed tomorrow.
And Jeff, just for folks who are listening to the meeting, our discussion previously on distribution for this year is that the report will be distributed electronically this year,
yes,
and there will be certain hard copies available in the town hall for members of the public who would prefer to receive a hard copy. But generally,
yes,
for cost savings and efficiency, we were planning to distribute them electronically this year. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Ed, do you have anything more on the next item on the agenda, which was just with respect to vacant moorings to be assigned for the 2021 season? These would be outside of the commercial North Anchorage. Any update relative to those assignments?
Outside of the commercial, other than what I have already said, I'm waiting for some documentation for those people. And I have, 2 smaller boats to assign to the wall moorings, and that's about it. There's, one thing I didn't mention earlier is there was one elderly gentleman who requested being a little bit closer to the yacht yard docks, which I was able to accomplish that with another person, so that everybody's happy with that. But other than that, there's no other news on that front.
Okay.
Kim, were you going to add anything else?
No.
Okay.
I sounds good.
Okay. The next item on our agenda was an update on the Harbor Master Patrol vessel. As mentioned in Jeff Engborg's report, the club is ready to provide it with maintenance performed on it, and it sounds like his preference would be for sometime in early May to make that transfer. But we do need to get the town's authorization to do that. Ed, can you update us on your latest thinking about how to go about doing this acquisition with respect to the work on that boat and timing to do that, and sort of your current thinking about that?
Well, thank you. Given the time constraints that we have, and that in particular this time of the year, no outside contractor has any time available to do any work as I had originally outlined. So I guess the question comes down to, we are in a position to accept the boat as is, or to refuse their offer. I mean, my position now is, let's get on the water with something. The expense report that I outlined earlier, I think you can pretty much eliminate everything on there, unless we want to, buff the hull perhaps and put on a fresh set of decals. And then, as I've tried to do already, reach out to other contractors locally who may have an opening sometime this summer for, whether it's a quick paint job or a little upgrade inside. But I think the important part right now is, accept the yacht club's donation. It gets us on the water, and get a fresh set of decals, or I can use the old Harbor Master boards that I still have. But that gets us out there, and a visual presence on the water.
So, Kim, if we proceeded on that basis, you've got documentation, but some of the language in our answers suggests that we were going to do some work on the boat. Would you need me to rewrite that or change that, or would you do that? I mean, what would you like to? I guess I'm looking for next steps here. Ed is proposing that we just take the boat as is.
I think the next, since we are, as Ed points out, we're right near we're at the time when we really do need to be able to get out on the water, and the yacht club is using the boat. I mean, it seems to me that if we can have using the boat till May 1, if we could have a statement and a budget. I mean, those requirements to get to the first select woman don't change. So we can't accept anything until they've said, okay, good statement, good budget. So I think we should, in view of circumstances, go back and take a look at both and see if there's anything that needs to be changed. And then, I'm very happy to get it over to the First Select Woman's office and, tell and with the message that we're really anxious to, be on the water and see what happens. But I think we need, if you wouldn't mind, Jack, looking at the statement just to be sure there's not something there that is that needs to be changed in view of the fact that we're just going to try and get on the water. And then, Ed, if you could, give us a budget. I know we don't even know because we don't have estimates from contracts.
So I was wondering, should we just not include that at this point at all? And I'm hearing Ed saying we're just going to take the boat as is and decide later about doing any work on the boat, other than maybe some decals on the side. So I'm hearing that maybe the budget is, we already know that there's no insurance to be charged to the commission or to our departments. So do we just have to revise the budget to take out that work at this point, and then if we decide to do it later, we'd be proposing that work?
Well, I think we need to include the things such as servicing the engine over the winter, anything we'd have to do to store it, what other expenses we might incur going forward over the summer. I think we've got to do that.
Okay, so those expenses. All right, so Ed, just so we're all on the same page, so I'm going to go through the sort of responses to the questions in the town forum and make changes, removing enhancements to the boat. I don't recall that it had maintenance expenses, the ongoing maintenance expenses in my verbiage. You'll write the budget and give that to Kim? Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, that was my initial report had those because I reached out to two local marinas or boatyards, service personnel, and they gave me numbers for end of season winterizing, shrink wrapping, and stuff like that. We still would need to obtain a trailer, which if memory serves me right, I think I put in a number of $1,000 for a used trailer, and I'm pretty sure that my last report that estimate fell through, or that particular trailer that I was hoping for fell through, and they have since recommended that we just go buy a new one, but it's another issue. But I mean, if is it possible to reserve the right to think about doing several of those upgrades?
I think that if there is something that you think, Ed, will have to be done on the boat, that you use your knowledge of the industry, the quotes that you've already gotten from various marinas, and put it in the budget. I don't think that we have to say that because we're not going to do those things in the next month. I don't think we ignore those things, but we don't have to certainly do them in the next month. And I think we need to be transparent about how we want the boat to look at and function sometime in the future.
Right.
So I think that if the $1,000 for the trailer is a price that you think is realistic, I think we include it, because at some point we will need a trailer.
Right.
So
I'll go back and Jack, I'll work with you and at least review safety equipment that really should be on the boat.
No question. Right.
We're going to need a VHF.
Right.
I mean, the chart plotter, that would be nice, but, I'm trying to.
I haven't looked at that language and the answer to those questions for several months now, so I need to go back and look at it. I don't remember how much I'm dependent on you finalizing your budget for me to finalize those words. So, I'll look at that, but I'm going to need a copy of whatever you're going to send to Kim, just so I can make sure what I send to Kim lines up with what you're sending with the budget. So I know it did before, but I just don't remember how much detail the answers to the questions get into the numbers.
Right.
I don't recall. So I will take a look at it, but I'm going to wait to finalize what I send you, Kim, until Ed sends me the budget that he's
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And we're going to move quickly on this so we can be in a position to accept the club's generous offer.
I think so. I think we
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the 15th today. I mean, on or around the 1st of May.
So, all right, and we're going to need time to let the First Selectwoman's office look at this. So,
right.
So, all right. So, Ed, as soon as you give me a budget, I will send Kim a document that supports a revised version of that document, and then I think that's all we need, right, Kim?
I think so.
Right.
That's when I look at the email from the town attorney, and that was just that form, and
The only other question I remember was outstanding was about insurance, and we now have an answer on that, which is it's covered for zero by the town. So
Right.
There's zero for registration too, which I think you're both aware of.
What was that, Ed? About registration?
There's $0 for registration.
Right,
for
a town vessel marked as a town vessel. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
In the state of Connecticut.
Good.
Right.
Good.
So could
Okay, so I
Jeff
think
again.
we're understanding. So Ed's going to move quickly on a budget, give a copy of that to me and to you, Kim, and then I will quickly make any changes I need to make to the verbiage and the answers to the town questions for acquisition, and then you will take all of that to the First Selectwoman's office and see if we can get a green light on that, and then we'll be good to accept the club's generous offer. All right.
Jack, this is Jeff.
Yes, Jeff.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Just for my own information, how did you determine? Is the town is going to cover the insurance?
That's what they indicated to Kim, right? Yeah.
So it would be a town-owned boat, and therefore the town would cover all of the insurance.
Right.
Okay.
It's covered by the town's master policy. It sounded like.
Okay. Thanks.
And they understood
then I
that the
think
operator
when we
is going to be the harbor master, who's a state employee.
Right. I think once we get to when we're ready to submit the application to the town, then we let Jeff Engborg know that we've done that, and that we're hoping that we'll be able to accept their wonderful offer around May 1st, so that he knows that he doesn't have to come up with not that we would push them to do that, but that they don't have to come up with something else to use for the high school sailing program.
Exactly. Right. Okay. Anything else on the patrol vessel at this point? That sounds good. We're going to get to closure on that quickly, it sounds like. Good. Any new business to bring up today for the mooring committee? Okay.
Just a quick. I have invited Jeff Engborg to come to the April 20 meeting to just give us an update on how the mooring inspection, the mooring tackle inspection went, and just to kind of give us the okay from the mooring contractor's point of view that the harbor is ready to go. So just FYI, everybody.
Okay. Before we wrap up, I just have two administrative things. Justin in the Parks and Rec department needs to receive an invoice for the Parks and Rec moorings at Perry Green. I believe last year I just sent him an email. Kim, are you okay with me just doing that again to
Absolutely.
invoice him for those?
Absolutely.
Okay. I know last year it sort of was late when we finally got to ask him later in the summer, but I think it's appropriate at this time of year to ask for that. I know, Ed, you indicated you don't yet have the names of the people and boats he's assigning to those permits, but
no,
EPD.
no. Well,
it doesn't
just the
diminish
one
their
that's
obligation
within our jurisdiction, but the rest are from Justin.
Right, but we're paying for the maintenance of those moorings, and he needs to reimburse us for that. So.
Yeah.
And then finally, I received an invoice for last month from Online Mooring. I will be reviewing the detail and then letting Betty know about whether that's okay to pay. Just got that this morning.
Okay, I just saw that this morning.
All right. Any other matters for today? Kim, I imagine the inquiry from the applicant for the riparian rights claim will be just a subject for the upcoming Harbor Management Commission general meeting.
We have to get it done within 60 days. And
next meeting then.
So I think I don't have that letter right in front of me, but I believe by May, our meeting in May will be beyond the 60 days, or just at 60 days. So
right. So then next meeting,
I'm hopeful that we can get it done. On Tuesday.
Okay. Any other matters for today for the mooring committee? All right. If not, then very good. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rainy day today, and thanks for participating.
Yeah, great. Good meeting.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.